First of all, Anthony, please tell me, how hammered did you get after being promoted after 16 years of hurt?
Oh, yeah, you can ask anyone that I've been with. Like, that Sunday after we got promoted, the Saturday and the Sunday, I mean, I could barely keep my eyes open watching the last game of the season against Derby because I was we had a good party, that's for sure. It's been 16 years of just dreadful football, and it's finally over. And yeah, we partied hard. It was a big night.
How has the last 16 years been for you as a Leeds supporter? Obviously, not finishing high in the league every year, being the laughing stock for a long period of time, probably also being one of the most disliked clubs in England.
Yeah, we still are, and that's why a lot of people can't stand to see the current success of the club, because they've enjoyed just seeing Leeds United go from being hit from pillar to post with, you know, just dreadful ownership. From top to bottom, the club has been a joke basically since we were relegated, up until about 2 or 3 years ago when the new ownership came in. The club totally changed in terms of sort of the investment in the squad and reconnecting the club back to with the community, because the club was a laughing stock for a long time, like you said. I started going. I saw us in the Premier League when I was about 7 years old. That's when we went down. I could sort of have little memories of that, but I actually got my first season ticket at the club when we were in League One, in the 3rd division. So that's the lowest position we've ever been in our history. And so all I've seen from a moderate age is us playing at that level and having fans of the clubs that we've been competing with, Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea, for decades, just laughing at us for years. And, you know, as a young kid, that was hard. So coming to this kind of success now is unbelievable, definitely.
Is it going to be a busy transfer summer at Elland Road, you think?
You'd think so. In the last few years, when the owners have come in, they've done quite well to sort of balance the books. We've been sort of being a selling to buy club over the last few years. I don't think it's going to be as bad as that anymore. I think we're going to have a bit more leeway to spend in this window. Obviously, with the money we get, I think there's a figure around £100 million. We'll have something like that to spend, which, you know, we don't need to spend much. There's nothing much the squad needs. We've got obviously Marcelo Bielsa has transformed a squad into a unit, basically, where the spine of the team is there. It just needs that little bit of quality that you need in the Premier League to sort of push on in terms of in front of goal, especially. We've had problems in front of goal this year where we could have made our lives a lot easier, but in the Premier League, we're not going to get away with that. So there's rumours of a couple of strikers coming in. We were linked with a really big name recently. I don't know if you saw, in Cavani from PSG, which was, you know, after, you know, 2 years after being, you know, under management like Paul Heckingbottom, to 2 years later being linked with Cavani is mental. But I think he might have agreed terms with Benfica recently, so we're not sure. But there was something with his brother saying that he might be willing to come and sign for Leeds, and there was a really, you know, top sources from all around Twitter were saying that it could happen. But just to be linked with players like that is just unbelievable now.
Just the feeling being back up there again.
Yeah, just the feeling of being a big club just again is incredible. There's a big rumour come out today that we've been linked with Ghent striker. I think his name's David, last name's David. He's a big prospect. That's it. Yeah, he's a big prospect in Belgian football. I think Lille's chairman came out today and said that Leeds had put an offer in. Ghent's chairman came out and said they put an offer in for him, despite Lille's interest as well. I think he's scored something like 30 goals this year, which is incredible in his first full professional year, I think. So I think that would be a good signing for Leeds. He seems to be able to. it looks like the kind of player Bielsa would go for. He gets up and down the field very, very quickly. He sort of is quite good on that sort of high press. I've watched little videos of him, so I'd be impressed if a player like that came in. Other than that, we really just need to add a couple of players here and there, maybe a goalkeeper, a winger that can actually contribute in front of goals, score goals, and not just be part of the squad. We've got two wingers in Harrison and Costa, who are both have been big contributors this year, but just not that clinical in front of goal. So we need a bit more quality in those areas. But other than that, I wouldn't say we need to go out and buy 8 or 9 players. We've got what we need already, and I think we're ready to compete. The thing is, over the last 16 years, it's been a lot. There's been a lot of pressure on the team from the fans to be back at that level, and that has always taken its toll on the players. Like when we've not been successful and when the pressure's been on, we've always failed at the last hurdle. And now we've actually got there. The pressure from the fans is just going to release, and the positivity is just flowing around the club. You can feel it from every angle, and I think that in the end is going to push us on. You look at teams like Sheffield United and Wolverhampton Wanderers, who have had similar situations, and they've gone and done really well, and they haven't really added that much. Wolves may have added a bit, but Sheffield United, I see as having a similar aspects as they had on the Premier League. We'll just add a few players here and there, but our squad as a unit under Marcelo Bielsa is just a real relentless mission, basically, and I can imagine us being able to compete at least in the Premier League. I don't expect us to finish in the top 5 immediately. At the same time, I'd just be delighted if we stayed up this year, because we don't. Another thing is we don't know if the fans are going to be able to go back into the ground. So one of the worst nightmares ever would be if we'd gone up, there'd be no fans in the ground all year, and then we get relegated. And can you imagine if after 16 years we get promoted, and then there's no fans all year, and then we get relegated, and then the fans come back when the championship starts again? For me, it's we have to stay up, and I think we will stay up with a few additions here and there. I think we've got enough, definitely.